The law wasn't abolished. It was built into something you and I were meant to walk in. Let me give you a picture that helps me reframe my thinking about fulfillment versus abolition. A blueprint. Imagine you're building a house. Before the house exists, you have a blueprint. It's very detailed and intentional. It shows you exactly what the house is supposed to look like. And once the house is built, do you throw the blueprint away? Of course not. You don't abolish it, you fulfill it. And this is how we are meant to understand what Messiah said in Matthew 5 when he said he did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. Fulfillment does not mean erased or deleted. It means completion of purpose. So when people say the law is done away with, they're confusing fulfillment with destruction. Additionally, how do we explain that certain laws aren't being practiced in the same way today? We have to go back to the blueprint. Under the Levitical administration of priesthood, you had laws put into place that regulated access, holiness, purity, and mediation. All of these things show us what atonement looks like, what holiness requires, and what it means to approach the Most High God, Yahuwah. This is the blueprint. But in the order of Melchizedek, fulfilled in Yahushua our Messiah, the chief cornerstone of us as living stones of a spiritual house, that's why I'm using the blueprint analogy, those same realities are no longer expressed the same way, but through a living reality. Through the Melchizedek administration, access is given through him now. He is the once and for all sacrifice. Purity and cleanliness come through him. So when the house is finally built, your relationship to the blueprint changes. This explains why, for example, the appointed times in Scripture, they're not practiced in the same way because they were all pointing to our Messiah. The appointed times in Scripture, just giving an example, is a shadow of something that they were pointing to. The shadow is pointing to the substance, which is greater than the shadow. So when we live in the reality of these appointed times, we're not actually going back to the exact prescribed way that they were instituted. We're living in the fullness as a spiritual house with our head and chief cornerstone as Messiah. Just like you don't go back to living in the blueprint once the house is built, you live in the house. And going back to the blueprint as if the house hasn't been built yet, that's where so many people today are missing the point. The blueprint still matters, but now we're meant to live in what it was always pointing to.